The name on the front of your jersey is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back, is a quote by Herb Brooks that rings true to anyone who has played a team sport. Herb Brooks changed the way coaches coach their teams and how they select players to play for them. He has left a lasting impact on more than just the hockey community. I have been to one of his facilities in memory of him to play the game he loved the most. Herb Brooks changed hockey as we know it and left a lasting impact and memory to his name. You will hear about Herb Brooks' early life, his amazing Olympic coaching career, and his life after the 1980s Olympics. Herb Brooks' life began on August 5th, 1937, when his mother Pauline and Herbert Sr. Brooks welcomed Herb into their life. This here is a picture of Herb Brooks in his coaching days. Herb Brooks was born August 5th, 1937 to his parents Herbert Sr. and Pauline Brooks. He was born in St. Paul, Minnesota. He grew up playing the game of hockey. His first taste of championship was when his hometown team won the high school state hockey championship title in 1955, according to Sports Engine in their article about Coach Brooks from the Herb Brooks Foundation in 2018. He went on to play for the University of Minnesota Gophers from 1957 to 1959. Herb then went on to play in two Winter Olympics only after getting cut from the first one 1 week before competing. He was also a part of numerous international tournaments after his career in the Olympics. Herb began his coaching career after he was done playing in the 1969. He was hired to become the assistant coach for the University of Minnesota. In a few years after that, he later coached the Minnesota Junior Stars, according to Sports Engine in their article about Coach Brooks from the Herb Brooks Foundation in 2018. He then went on to become the head coach at the University of Minnesota and won 3 NCAA Division I championships between 1974 and 1979. During the time span, he led the team to a record of 175 wins, 100 losses, and only 20 ties, according to Sports Engine in their article about Coach Brooks from the Herb Brooks Foundation in 2018. After Herb was done coaching at college, he was hired to coach the Olympic team in 1979. He then handpicked players mainly from the University of Minnesota and Boston. This team hand selected was a team that made history. Herb began his Olympic coaching career in 1980, coaching the U.S. Olympic team that went on to win the gold medal game at Lake Placid in New York. Herb said this about his team: they were really mentally tough and goal-oriented, was said by Sports Engine in their article about Coach Brooks from the Herb Brooks Foundation in 2018. Herb pushed his team harder than he has pushed a team before. He knew that coming from different teams and playing against each other, there were grudges. He is considered to not be a player's coach. He made them forget about these grudges by making them skate to create a more fueled hate towards him and not each other. He also made the team adopt a different style of hockey, combining some of Canada and a bit of European style, according to Sports Engine in their article about Coach Brooks from the Herb Brooks Foundation in 2018. With the new style of hockey, Herb was better able to get his players to commit more to the team. He knew that the Soviets were very conditioned and more committed to their team. He had to find a way to get his team to play together and try their hardest. After skating his team after a game where he felt they didn't try hard enough, they realized they better get on board and join each other and forget all the differences they had with each other, according to Winfrey in their article, The 2018 Miracle on Ice, Herb Brooks from SB Nation in 2014. They played for one team. Herb took his team to the Olympics in Lake Placid where they were able to come back from behind and win games. They were able to get lucky and score when needed in the gold medal game against the Soviet team. They defeated them in a 4-3 victory over the heavily favored Soviets. According to Whitney in their article, the 1980 Miracle on Ice, Herb Brooks from SB Nation in 2014. This game would later be called the Miracle on Ice. It would also be made into a movie named Miracle that followed Herb and his team to their victory over the Soviets in 1980 at the Winter Olympics in Lake Placid, New York. With Herb's victory over the Soviets, Herb was offered more coaching positions on higher teams. This is the Olympic team that won gold at Lake Placid. After the Olympics, Herb coached in the National Hockey League, or NHL. He coached the New York Rangers for 3 years and was named the NHL Coach of the Year. He then took a break, but went back to coach the New Jersey Devils and Pittsburgh Penguins, according to Sports Engine in their article about Coach Brooks from the Herb Brooks Foundation in 2018. He also went on to coach in Switzerland and also at St. Cloud University, according to Whitney in their article, The 1980 Miracle on Ice, Herb Brooks from SB Nation in 2014. He even coached Olympic teams, however, none of them did as well as the team from 1980. According to Dejan Kovacevic, in his article, Herb Brooks dies in crash in the Post-Gazette, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 2003. On August 11, 2003, Herb Brooks died at the age of 66 when his minivan rolled over. Officials say his body was found 120 feet away from his car because he was not wearing his seatbelt at the time of the crash, when he swerved from right to left into the median strip on the road. Herb's death shocked the hockey world. He left behind his wife Patty and their 2 children, Danny and Kelly. He left behind a legacy he made in the hockey world as a coach and player. All 20 of his players from the 1980 Olympic team attended his funeral. After his death in 2003, there was a statue of Herb erected in St. Paul's Rice Park across from Minnesota's legendary F. Scott Fitzgerald, according to Sports Engine in their article about Coach Brooks from the Herb Brooks Foundation in 2018. Later in 2006, he was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame with the inscription, "A Man of Passion and Dedication." Herb Brooks inspired a generation of Americans to pursue any and all dreams. He said by Sports Engine in the article about Herb Brooks from the Herb Brooks Foundation in 2018. The rink in Lake Placid was later renamed Herb Brooks Arena in honor of Herb Brooks. Also, in St. Cloud at the college, there is a rink named the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center in memory of when Herb coached as St. Cloud. Here is the rink in Lake Placid, named after Herb. With Herb's great legacy, all things have to come to an end. You have heard who Herb Brooks is, his Olympic career and coaching career, and his legacy that he left behind. As you have seen, when Herb says the name on the front of your jersey is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back, he meant so much more than just the words itself.